Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
Starting a couple seconds late here, at least according to my schedule. But at least things should be working just fine. And I seem to say that at the top of every live broadcast, because I never really know if YouTube Live is going to cooperate with everybody. Thank you for joining me once again for TLDR, the LockerGnome Daily Report. We do this every weekday at 3 p.m., and despite saying that in just about every one of these live video feeds, Wicket, are you joining me? He wanted to join me. People still ask, Chris, when's your next live broadcast? Like, we have it scheduled. Well, why don't you announce it? I kind of do. Like, I don't know, unless everything that I send out there on all the social media, social network places is the same information over and over again. I mean, I kind of have to rely on you to do some homework. If you head over to youtube.com/LockerGnome, you'll see all the upcoming schedules for the live TLDR broadcast, and each one of those has a countdown. You can like a video when it's streaming live, like this one, if you're watching it live. If you're not, it may be a bit more of a challenge. The easiest way to like a video after it's been broadcast live, if you get an error that says this video cannot be rated if it hasn't aired yet, is to go through a mobile device and like it that way through, in any one of the mobile operating systems out there, the YouTube mobile page. So thank you again, and I will repeat that several times over during the course of the broadcast, because I could not do this without you. So let me go ahead, and I think as people are jumping in on the comment thread, it appears to be working. They see Wicket, and it looks like TS Kj is asking, are we live? Yes, well, I'm live. I don't know about you. And Wicket, are you live? You're not even paying attention. Are you looking at the chat too? He's trying to read. You're so cute. Let's go ahead and tweet this out, and I'm going to make it kind of funny. Many Bothans died to bring you this. It's obviously a joke, a Star Wars reference. I'm going to go ahead and tweet that. You can start following me if you're not yet, at Chris Pirillo. Have a few giveaways happening there through Twitter, as I talked about in yesterday's episode. And then let's go ahead and post this on Facebook.com/Chris Pirillo. Although youtube.com/Chris Pirillo should redirect to this LockerGnome YouTube channel. And let's go ahead and do something else. If you're looking at the video page itself, and you should be, to watch the live video feed with all the fancy-dancy links that we're going to be covering in today's broadcast, you should see the option to share the video. And if you tap that button or click it, whatever you need to do, you can +1 it, you can tweet it, and you can post it to Facebook as well. So I'm going to go ahead and +1 it, posting publicly on Google Plus as Chris Pirillo, and I'm going to go ahead and share that. And you're more than welcome to share, retweet, like, relike, whatever it is you got to do to get things done. We're very happy that you are participating with us. It looks like gotta wait a few minutes for him to prepare, seems like. Axe Sweetheart. Well, no, I'm pretty much prepared, or as prepared as I possibly can be. The only thing that could be happening right now is this weird little 5-minute broadcast YouTube bug. So my guess is that some people are able to watch the video in an embed right now, and others have to wait for the 5-minute mark before it actually starts broadcasting to them, which is really weird. And I think the way around that is to start the broadcast before it's scheduled to officially broadcast. And I think that's the trick. And I'll test it again, with our next live broadcast, which, by the way, and I'll have to repeat this too several times, I'm sure, is going to be this weekend. We're going to be sharing our New Year's Eve with a subservient Chris, and electronic donations, whether they're iTunes gift cards or Amazon gift cards or just PayPal donations, will be directly translated into, well, whatever it is that you might be requesting from me. So if you want me to mention a website, I think we said, $5 or $10 donation. If you want a shout out, $5 to $10 donation. And with that, I'm going to be able to spread the love and cheer to the rest of my LockerGnome team, not just immediately, but throughout the year. So I know that we do have a fair amount to share today from LockerGnome.com, but hang on. Now my desk is all sparkly. Well, Wicket, you want down? Are you getting down? Just don't take my mic. Or are you not getting down? Are you... Wicket, this isn't really helping. Seriously. Just, are you gonna help, or are you just hanging out? Because I got a show to do here. J10Cool10 says, it's live. Yay, it's live, says Browser Nerd. Looks like that 5-minute bug bit us in the ass again. Sorry about that. You have to recognize, though, that this is a TV show, even if you're not watching it on the TV. Got my mug of ow. I got to pick it up with my left hand. I got a ligament in my right middle finger that's been bothering me. I went to the doctor yesterday. That's what the doctor said. He said, stop flipping people off. I'm enjoying some Genmai cha out of my Vader mug. Please do not be a Vader hater. What is Diana drinking? Asks Morphing Light. Someone is apparently watching the live video feed on live.pirillo.com there.
How did they know?
She is drinking chai. Iced chai. She made her own iced chai. She is on her way to becoming a barista. Hey, Wicket, you look kind of weird with just your head there at the top. Is this kind of freaking you out, people, with this dog on the lap? I don't know yet. Hey, Chris, it's official. My birthday today since the clock just passed midnight here in Norway. Congrats to me, says Thag Me. Happy birthday, I would say. What a fun way to... This is what you choose to celebrate your birthday? Dude, even I wouldn't do that. And this is... I'm the one doing it. I don't know if I'd I'm celebrating my birthday by... Hey, if it makes you happy, I'm fine with that too. So everyone says that you're doing okay here. I just love missing the first 5 minutes, says 814 Hamster Man. Yeah, well, there's not much I can do. But Wicket, we are going to go ahead and roll along. If you guys have questions you care to throw out there as we do this live broadcast, feel free to do so. But remember, today is Friday, so it's date night. So I'm going to try to keep this as short as humanly possible so I can go out on my hot date with Diana. And we're going to be going to some new restaurant. We got like a 40% discount on through the Perk iPhone app, which I've talked about before. And remember, and I'll have to repeat this a few times, and I think this was during the first 5 minutes of the segment, we've got our New Year's Eve broadcast happening on New Year's Eve, like 2 hours or so leading up to our New Year's here in Seattle. We will be sharing that with you. And if you do care to be with us, because we don't like leaving the house, we'll be broadcasting on YouTube. You can see that as a part of our upcoming schedule on our YouTube page. All right, let's go ahead and start with the first LockerGnome article. Since I do not see too many questions right now, we're just kind of getting the ball rolling here, welcoming everybody in. I know that many of you are inclined to share and spread and sometimes start rumors about technology. Not a day goes by when I don't see some kind of rumor about the next Apple device. And quite honestly, I don't care. I really don't. I'll be interested when there's an official announcement, but I don't really want to hear about something that might happen when it might not happen, because the only thing that really leads to is disappointment. That's really not fair. And I would say that for any company. But in the past year, there have been quite a bit of controversies that, have certainly, I guess, hit us pretty hard in terms of technology. And you could probably name a few of the top controversies in at least the world of technology. And if you kind of need a jog, a head start, you may want to look at the article upon which this video is based, the top tech news and controversies of 2011. So, one of the controversies I would say, Wicket, go ahead, is, and thank you for joining me there, Wicket. Closest thing I had to a studio audience is a dog, other than the people who are watching live. I would say probably one of the bigger controversies out there this year surrounded the iPad 2 and every other tablet on the market. I'd say that's a controversy, right? I mean, it's not, political and, jobs aren't at stake necessarily, but it just seems to me that there are a lot of tablets right now where there weren't a year ago. And inevitably, whether the manufacturer intends to or not, these tablets get compared to the iPad. And that's kind of controversial because sometimes just because it's a tablet doesn't mean that it can be fairly compared to an iPad, even though I realize that many of you want to do that. Each tablet, I think, should stand well enough on its own. Of course, one of the bigger controversies in recent weeks that's cropped up, something we've covered a couple of times, SOPA and Protect IP. Pretty big controversial, I guess, a controversial topic, Stopping Online Piracy Act and protecting intellectual property. Generally not a good thing, and we can only hope that this will die a very fast and very painful death as it continues to try to make its way as a bill into law. And with any luck, I would say, we will be able to defeat this potential, how do you say it? Just such an evil thing or set of policies that would pretty much destroy the internet as we know it. And so with any luck, that will happen. So, we've got the links for our top controversial and top tech news stories there for you in the description. And, if you have a top tech news story that we missed, you're more than welcome to share it. Another top tech controversy I would consider the new Twitter just released. I think it sucks. It's horrible. Whether it's the web version, it's not enough. And certainly the mobile version, at least through iOS, sucks. These, I would say are pretty big controversies because inevitably there's discussion around them and sides are diametrically opposed. And unfortunately, I don't think this coming year will be any different in terms of less controversies. But certainly every day there's news to be shared. Some would say that it's controversial for me to broadcast live on YouTube and upload every single segment as a separate clip. But I don't think so. We disagree. Obviously, I don't know if that's really a controversy. It's not really even tech news either. All sorts of companies making the news, and so if we missed any potential big controversies or big news stories in the article, feel free to share what you think the biggest news story for you happened to be. And let me go ahead and check as I'm running down this list if I'm seeing any other people talking about controversies or tech news this year. Every single Facebook update is a controversy, says A Tech TV. That is true. Facebook's timeline there, that the Comp Geek 101 just threw in there, so it kind of balances out. At least if you're comparing Facebook and Twitter, it's complementary to the assertion that every Facebook update is controversial, which the Facebook timeline, we've talked about it before. It's got its benefits and its drawbacks. Let's see here. Let me hit refresh. The chat box sometimes is 30 seconds behind for me, especially when people are typing in a lot. Microsoft owning Skype, that was pretty big news. Controversial? I don't know. Depends on how much you like Microsoft or hate them. Let's see here. Checking, let's see if one more thing. Oh, the PSN outage, that's right. All you PlayStation Network users, sorry to hear that. Windows 8, there's a bit of controversy surrounding the new updates with Windows 8, at least what we've seen in developer previews. We shall see, though. The passing of Steve Jobs, and that wouldn't necessarily be controversial, but I would say it's certainly big news. Tumblr, I don't know if Tumblr is really news, other than it being down and having the greatest amount of downtime. You want to talk about controversial. If you have a blog host, that's the last thing you want it to be doing is, constantly not being in a state of up. And Netflix splitting up, also controversial. Good call on that one. HP dead or WebOS dying. These two comments from WWE Fan 602 and Zach Nora 21. Really good stories, and some of them I know we covered in the article, others not so much. So, what do you believe was the top story and the top controversy of 2011? Leave a comment both here and on the article itself, and be sure when you're over there to share the article with other people. My favorite Linux distro is the one that doesn't suck.
Do you need more, baby?
Soon, but don't worry about it, baby, because you're just doing your fingernails there.
New Year's.
For New Year's, yes. Indeed. Books versus ebooks. All right. Dignation's dying. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but, Kevin's got to move on with his life. Kanye West saying Bush doesn't like black people. That's not 2011. That's 4 years ago? Even I knew that. Katy Perry divorce. Was it Russell Brand? Didn't you tell me about that?
Yeah, I guess it's official now.
Well, you know why? Because she kissed a girl and she liked it. It's just a guess. I can't back that up. It's just a... All right, so... JCV Monster says, hi, Chris. First time tuning in live. Howdy. Shared and like. Thank you, Jenford. We love it when you share the LockerGnome articles. When I was in school, I had to carry around a backpack with all of my books, and it sucked because those books were heavy. And whether I was in grade school or high school, college, I was tethered to these pages. And more frustrating than anything, beyond the weight, and I would say the destruction of my spinal column, was not being able to find information easily in printed materials. So we've written up an article on LockerGnome.com, as we are prone to do every day. Books versus ebooks. And I've got my thoughts on the matter. And we've been covering this in, I would say, recent days, because I believe that the printed book it's not dead yet, but I would say as far as most books are concerned, I think ebooks are kind of the way to go, especially with reference materials. I could never imagine buying an encyclopedia. Oh my God. Wow, do people still do that? Or even a dictionary or a thesaurus. If I need to find something quickly, I'm not going to refer to a printed volume of text. I'm going to search for it. And then, beyond the text, think about the illustrations. Being able to zoom in on a map and interact with it dynamically, this is something you can do in ebooks that you just can't do in the printed volume. I know we're not there yet. Today, but maybe 5-10 years from now, printed books, at least as far as school books are concerned, will become ebooks. And I think that's a strong possibility. I received an email from a professor who was not a fan of the iPad, and it turns out that his school is now deploying iPads, and now he loves them because of how easy iPads are to use and how portable it makes the text. And I think that's where ebooks have it over books. If you gave me a choice between a printed book or an ebook, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to take that ebook. It looks like Bauer Teach 123 says, I have 4 of my high school ebooks on ebooks. So he's got books on ebooks. I love it, but it's hard to switch from one ebook to another ebook without 2 screens. That is true. Not that we'd want to carry around 15 screens, or, it would be nice to be able to compare pages potentially, or bookmark between one and another and snap back to them kind of in a sort of history. That may make a pretty nice ebook reader enhancement. Chris, what do you think about having tablets like Kindle in school replacing textbooks in class? It asks Uzumaki777Z. Kind of already stated my opinion, but I'm all for it. The money you save from ebooks, says the Comp Geek 101. True, because there's no cost of replication. Think about all those trees we could potentially save. In addition to reading them, traditional books are good for decorating, says Imbalanced by Design. That is true. And in our library, because I have just a small amount of OCD, I've organized the books that I have, and I've bought maybe a couple of them. Most of them are sent to me for review, or sometimes my name gets printed up and they send me a copy, a complimentary copy. They are in color order. So I've got like white books, and then I got the black books, and then I got the red books, and the blue books. I still like books. The feel is still the best, and more trees are cut down to run the power to your computers, laptops, iPad, and so on. Okay, I'm not exactly sure where you're going with the comment, but theoretically you can save energy by going with ebooks. Scottish Education still uses XP. I doubt we will have tablets anytime soon, says Scottish Tech Kid $9.98. Oh. And if they destroy their Kindles, well, what's on them? Not exactly sure. Sometimes when I'm reading the comments on the YouTube live chat box from these live videos, I don't catch the full comment, but I do my best to translate. Old books smell like vomit, says Vasquez 123-100. Cool Joss 100 says ebooks are cheap, fast, and I love it. Will the rich schools have iPads and less funded schools have cheap ebook readers? Asks Paulent Films. There may be a digital divide happening there. I would hope that one day, at some point in the future, we would be more like a Star Trek society, where education was prime, and it didn't matter how much money you had. Everybody could truly get an equal education. Maybe ebooks will bring us closer to that utopia. We shall see. So your thoughts, books versus ebooks? Take a look at our list on LockerGnome.com. The article is linked in the description. Feel free to leave your comment here as you're watching the video or wherever you're reading the page. And if you like either the video or the article, please share it.
Doesn't your mom like the smell of books?
Yeah, she likes books. She doesn't like the Kindle yet.
I think she said she likes the smell of them. Like it just...
I didn't know that. I didn't know she liked to smell them.
I mean, like she likes the smell. Maybe it's...
Something probably like nostalgia. Yeah.
I know a couple people that say they like the smell of books, like library books.
Did I say if you like the ebook or the article? Or did I say if you like the video or the article? Boy. Things you can't go back on and check until you're done. What are the best noise canceling headphones? Didn't we already do that article? Like, we kind of already... How is that done? We already kind of covered best noise canceling headphones. Like, because Creighton did an article on that one. That's weird. Why we did this? I guess she linked to Creighton's article, but...
I don't remember.
Alright. Apparently we're doing it again. Ah, crap. I'm not going to dig out my Bose QC3s. Do I have to? Hang on. McAllen ISD gave iPads to all their students, says Zach Nora 21. That's nice. Do you like bananas? That is a stupid question. Probably the dumbest I've seen all day.
Why?
Because it was pointless. All right. Let's do this. If you have any questions, by the way, that are good questions that we haven't answered, beyond what kind of fruit I might or might not like, feel free to ask them, because we can potentially throw them into the array of videos that we're recording today. I took my e-reader to school and they considered it an electronic device, so I couldn't use it. Says Ruben knows Apple. Well, that sucks. All right, let's do this. I actually pulled them out this time. Didn't have it. Do you recommend an all wireless home office? It's not a bad one. As I was broadcasting this live TLDR episode, the LockerGnome Daily Report, as I do every weekday at 3 p.m. or somewhere thereabouts, had a question come in from Lisa M. Card, who is a regular viewer of our live stream, and she asks, do you recommend an all-wireless home office? Yes, I do. You know, there are times when you want to be connected directly to some kind of physical router. You know, if you're pushing a lot of data back and forth and you can't get a very good wireless signal where you happen to be sitting, that is sometimes the practical way to go. But as time has moved on, I have become more and more wireless with the devices. Whereas I used to plug everything in, I would much rather have fewer cords and cables strewn about the home office. That would make me so happy. You have no idea. And this doesn't make much sense until you start getting more gadgets and gizmos. Do you know how many USB devices I used to have connected to one of my computers. It was like 7 or 8. And eventually I started, getting rid of them. I think I only have 2 USB devices connected to a computer right now, a webcam and a wired keyboard as a backup for the wireless keyboard, but I have a wireless mouse, wireless keyboard, my printer, which I reviewed before, the Epson Workforce 840, fully wireless. I can access it from, anywhere in the house. And I think the more wireless you are, I think the happier you're going to be. Not to say that you need to replace everything that's wired today with something wireless, but yeah, I absolutely believe that a wireless office is a happier office because there's far less clutter to have to deal with. And that is probably enemy number 1 as far as I'm concerned, is cord and cable clutter. Good question. Is it true that Macs do not get viruses at all? That is not true. And by the way, when you spell Mac that way, it's not in all caps. It's just capital M. It's a proper noun, not an acronym. Are Netgear routers good, Chris? No, they're not. Chris, do you know that you can get cancer from constant Wi-Fi use? Well, I don't know about that. I'm not a scientist. I can't prove that. I can't disprove that. I can't get 72 megabit down over Wi-Fi. I use power line adapters. Does a job. 500 stream. Half a gigabit Ethernet. Yeah. If it's something that's limiting you, there are times that you need to connect back into some kind of outlet. But I say, by and large, you'd be very, very happy by going wireless. I certainly am. I haven't missed it. Haven't missed it a bit. All right, now let's get back to that canceling headphones. Noise canceling. So, what are the best noise canceling headphones? I'm assuming you would be using more than one ear to listen. It's a set of headphones. What are the best ones? Do you have noise canceling headphones? I've got my favorite. I've shared it before. Well, not with you directly. Talked about it. But they happen to be these, the Bose QC3s. I love them. They fit over my ears. I can tune everybody out. It's like you're not there. It's like I'm not there. That's amazing. Hang on. Well, it sounds weird. It sounds really strange. If you've never tried noise-canceling headphones, you're really missing out. These things are amazing on airplanes, or even when you're out and about and walking. If you want to have the people around you ignore you altogether and never ask you stupid questions, just put a pair of headphones on and you'll be safe. Unless there's someone who just can't pick up on social cues, and yes, they are absolutely out there. So let's go ahead, turn to the YouTube Live chat box and see what their favorites happen to be. Mr. Sadler64 says Sennheisers. Which model? JMart2K says Dre Beats. All right. I tested those a long time ago. The Sony Extra Bass. Is that the specific model? I have not tried that one yet. We've written an article outlining some finer points of what you might want to look at if you're in the market for noise-canceling headphones. Feel free to review that if you haven't picked one up yet, or possibly even to compare the headphones you have today with something that might be better. I'm happy with the small headphones. Well, I don't think that's a brand, Hunter 5964, but, that's okay. Those are nice in data centers, says Belinaiz. They probably are, because they eliminate noise, because the way they work. We did a video on that already. I'm not going to dive into it too deeply. Denon D5000 says Ocelot Dragon 2. Skull Candy Skull Crusher says Near Death 14. Bose Aviation X's or 10s. I don't know exactly if that's a Roman numeral or not. Clifford J06. Astro 40 says Witty Sparrow. Turtle Beach. I didn't realize they made noise-canceling headphones. I thought they just made sound cards. Then again, it's the last time I heard that brand. I didn't even realize they were still around. It is possible. See here. Asus NC1 active noise canceling headphones. So Asus apparently also makes these. Audio PFE. Boy, a lot of fans of Skull Candy. I think Skull Candies are good for canceling sound, says X Sinister Strike, and I'm seeing a few of those suggestions roll through. Review Teen says Audio Technica ATH 450. Heard very good things about the Audio-Technica lines as well. QC3 is all right. These are it for me. I've tried others, and I'm always going back to these as my primary favorite. And I've had Sennheisers before, they were okay, but I was much happier. These are so much more comfortable around my ears. They produce a minimum amount of ear sweat, too. Although I do have to take my glasses off because of the way they sit. I don't like earbuds. I don't like anything sitting in my ears. That annoys me. Citronic HP 450 says DJ Wilbur C, and he may be a DJ, so that could be a nice one to look into if you're into music at all. That's just a guess. I'm interpolating from his username there on YouTube. Yeah, so it looks like we have quite a few people out there who have a variety of favorites. And everyone has their own reasons as to what they think happens to be the best. But if you need baseline suggestions, that's exactly why we put together this article for you. Feel free to tell the world, in the comment thread for this video, what your favorite noise-canceling headphones are, as well as on the article itself. And if you like this video, thank you for liking the video. And if you like the article, please share them with others. Yay. Beats are overpriced. Yeah, I can't say that I was all that thrilled with the Beats, and they ended up breaking. Oh, Dr. Dre. When are people going to learn you're not really a doctor? Bayer Dynamic DT770s. Bose QC15s. What am I drinking? I'm drinking a Genmai Cha. Deliciousness. It's so delicious. Wouldn't it be so annoying to put all the batteries in those wireless devices? It's not as annoying as you think. What's your opinion on Google Books? Is it really necessary considering we already have Amazon's Kindle store? I think it's let's answer the question Mr. Daniel Price won. I don't think we've covered this. As we were referring to another article from LockerGnome.com today, books versus ebooks, another question sprang out from the chat box on YouTube Live, and this one came in from, if I can find it again as it scrolled away, Mr. Daniel Price 1. What's your opinion on Google Books? Is it really necessary considering we've already got Amazon's Kindle store? Okay, I like Amazon's Kindle store. I like Google Books. We need both. We can't just have one. And I would say this about any technology. I have said this about any technology. When you only have one company out there providing all the services related to one particular, I guess, what would you call books? It's a medium for delivering information. It's dangerous. You don't just want one. You want at least two. Without competition, it could be really, really bad. And I think that Amazon is doing a fantastic job with what they're doing with the Kindle. And I think Google has a lot of work to do. But it's good that Google is at least starting, or has started, down the path of helping publishers and people who have created content get their information from point A to point B. So it is necessary that Google Books exists. I think it'll get better. I think we will see potentially other entrants in this field, and we need them. We need the competition. I don't know how many people use Google Books, and I think maybe that's what you were indirectly referring to. Why would people use Google Books when we have, the Amazon bookstore or the Kindle store? Because competition is absolutely necessary. You don't want to go through one vendor or another. I can't say that enough. And more than anything, I would ask you this. Are you using Google Books? If so, why? And if it's just because it's not Amazon, that's an okay reason. I'm curious to know what Google Books possibly does better than Amazon. Because, Amazon's got, all those Kindle devices out there and makes it really, really easy for you to get the content that you need. And I don't know if I've seen the same level of ease, at least as far as Google Books are concerned, with the potential ebook readers that are out there today, if there are any that are Google Books compatible. They're not going away anytime soon, and I pray that more companies start doing something similar for the publishers, if only to drive down the price of books. Competition is always healthy. Joe Pirillo, call from blah, blah, blah. Oh. Sorry, my dad apparently texted me. He has no idea I'm doing this on YouTube Live. Crazy guy. My dad's nuts. But we love him, don't we? I should call him up. He texted me yesterday about the Verizon Convenience Fee. Apparently they were going to charge people $2 to pay their bill online or something stupid like that. They reversed their decision after the FCC looked into it, or threatened to look into it, I guess. There's also Nook and iBooks. That is true. But although I didn't really want to bring Apple in there, we need more competition. I think it's going to take people getting into Google Books for even to take off. Otherwise, it'll simply die off, sadly. Says Miss Bright Eyes 86. That's true. What do you think about Google cluttering themselves? Oh, this is a good question. Another good question came in as we were broadcasting this episode of TLDR Live, the LockerGnome Daily Report, as we do broadcast it live every weekday at 3 p.m. Yuzumaki777Z says, what do you think about Google cluttering themselves with all these services they offer, like YouTube, Books, Plus, Ads, Voice, etc.? Personally, I'm a fan. I don't use all of Google's services, and they have tons of them. If you've never looked into your Google account, take a look. I certainly do like Google+, love YouTube. I use Google for searching the web, the internet. I use Google Docs all the time. I wouldn't say every day, but certainly pretty close to it. And there are some services that Google offers that I just really don't care about. I'm not the market for it. But Google needs to grow, and it needs to try. And the more it has to offer to you, the more comprehensive a service it becomes. Google is more than search, and I think it's struggled, even with what it has today, to outlive that part of your brain that says Google is just for searching. It's not just for searching. And they've got to beat people over the head, saying, no, you don't just search on Google. We have all these services you can use. You want email? We have Gmail. Some people like Gmail. I'm not a fan. I have a Gmail account. I don't use it all that much. But the thing is, if they just stuck to one particular product or service, their growth would be limited. They need to expand. And so they're doing the right thing. As is Apple. As is Microsoft. As is any other company that publishes online. Yahoo tried. They may still come back at some point. AOL, not so sure about anymore. Who knows? But any one of these internet companies has to diversify. It's not just about one product or service. They need to do that. So I have no problem with it. It looks like a commenter here, Vasquez123100 says, I hate Blogger. Well, that's fine. I will go as far as to say that Google Plus will likely replace Blogger at some point in the future. If you think about it for a second, they're pretty close together. Like, I guess this is 4 services. Google Plus and Blogger are more alike than they are different as a publishing platform, certainly for sharing information online. There we go. I took a new channel. I was Bellini as, since it was hard to speak. Oh, Identicali, my more nickname, no nickname though. Well, I'm sorry you had to change the handle because I couldn't read it. I apologize. Google is my best friend. Aww. Are you getting Apple Cinema displays? No. Apple should create a social network for hardcore fans. They did. It's called Ping Ick. All right. Let's move along here. If you got other questions, those were good questions, and hopefully they'll stand well as separate videos in the channel. I have no idea if they will or not. Google Buzz just awful. Yeah, see, they've done some things that didn't work out very well. Peter McDermott. How can Google Plus better consolidate catalog content like a blog? Oh. How? How could they? They're on their way. I mean, it's easy enough to share and to publish. It's easier to share and publish on Blogger than it is to do on Blogger itself. The only difference, I would say, the fundamental difference right now between Blogger and Google Plus is monetization strategies, specifically erring to the side of the publisher. So I'm interested in that conversation, what publishers are doing or should do or can do or could do on Google Plus, but we're not there yet, unfortunately. I don't think. Try pronouncing Jurgen. Why did this... Did you hear... Is that it? Hang on. Whoa. Did that just crack? Did my mug just crack? It just like tinked. I think it just cracked itself. This is a really fragile mug. I think it's the last time I'm drinking out of this. Wow. All right, let's move on to another LockerGnome article as the more comments and questions come in. Please, Chris, why won't you answer me? Asks Swawi's Techno something. You could be asking a question I've answered other times, other places, 1,000,000 times over, potentially. Keep asking, and if I ignore it, that's probably what it means. So, the iPhone. Pretty popular device, despite, what some people would wish. The iPhone 4S, people were saying was a big disappointment, yet it turned out to be one of the best-selling iPhones to date. So, yeah, if that's a disappointment, boy, I'd hate to see just the opposite. So, is Android ready? Is it right there, primed? Not to make reference to a device that is likely not going to be named that for too much longer, thanks to a lawsuit from Hasbro. Is Android truly going head-to-head against the iPhone? Well, Android is a general platform upon which different experiences can be built versus the iPhone, which is iOS, and that's Apple's controlled ecosystem. But we've crafted an article that I think you Androids will love, or you Fandroids, as some of you have called yourselves. Is the Galaxy Nexus ready to take out the iPhone? Pretty popular device, I tell you. I'm starting to see a lot more Android devices in people's hands than iPhones. And that's just an informal thing. I haven't pulled anybody in particular. I could ask the audience, are you Android or iPhone? And inevitably, I'm going to get just about an equal amount of likes to dislikes. This really is good news for either side. And I'll have to explain this, I'm sure, 1,000,000 times over. I know you want one clear winner, your choice, but there are those who do believe that it came out sounding like I said believed. They do actively believe that the Galaxy Nexus is ready to take out the iPhone. We wrote an entire article explaining why this is probably going to happen. It's inevitable. You've got how many untold devices running Android these days? And you only have one iPhone. It seems that the leader today is the Galaxy Nexus. So whether you like the iPhone or Android, I don't think that's a core part of the discussion. What is going to be the iPhone killer? And it's been promised since the first iPhone. What is going to take it out? Is it the Galaxy Nexus? I use an iPhone. I want to see the iPhone, be taken out. Why, you might ask? Because it's not about winning. You can't win in a race that never ends. You want competition. You want things to get better, cheaper, theoretically easier. So whether you want the iPhone to win or an Android device du jour to win, understand that, it's good to be in second place. It really is. And I would say that about any device. You cannot win in a race that never ends. The worst thing that can happen is that you're racing against nobody. So it could be amazing if something like the Galaxy Nexus could overtake the iPhone. And I think Android has an extreme possibility of being that platform that fuels, for years to come, these devices that are really not just alternatives. I mean, they are options. I mean, let's not talk about, just one killer or another. What do you believe is it going to take for the iPhone to become, a not as premium device? Then again, they're doing the 3GS for free with a contract, so it's not as premium when it's free. I also heard news that some current Samsung Galaxy owners aren't going to get upgraded to ice cream sandwich. That kind of sucks. I mean, that's a part of the experience, though. So I guess it's to be expected with Android. But is the Galaxy Nexus, is that the one that is just going to beat the iPhone over its head? Beat it over its own head, I guess? I don't know if phones can really do that. And if not the Galaxy Nexus, what's it going to be? I mean, you got to remember, it's got to be a device that is very well recognized. I mean, people know the iPhone. They know Android, but how many Android devices are out there? And how many of them are going to be released over the next year? What's the one that's the true competition? What's going to become that killer? Is it going to be the iPhone killing that whatever Android device if it's not the Galaxy Nexus? What would it be? I say it's very exciting. Grab a bucket of popcorn. This is a race you want to be watching, knowing that these possibilities in the field, the options for you to buy or possibly get for free with a contract, knowing that one may one-up the other one, and then in a short amount of time, the other one would one-up the one that had one-upped that one. Does that make any sense? I'm going to say it again. You can't win in a race that never ends. What will be the Android device to beat? Can't really say that the iPhone already lost because Apple made a lot of money. And if that's losing, thank you, I'd rather lose. If one company went out, the other companies wouldn't have to update their phones, so you wouldn't get as regular software or hardware updates. Exactly. You want competition, dude. Would you try the challenge with the Galaxy Nexus? Probably not. Someone would have to pay me a lot of money, and I don't think they will. Windows Phone will be next. We shall see. They're trying. I'll give them that. If you're talking about the Samsung Galaxy Nexus, it didn't end well here in Europe. It's now on sale, and the iPhone is still the leader. Apple and Android should join forces and make iDroid. Oh, that would suck. You don't want to rule software by committee. Let's see here. Chris has an awesome forehead. Thank you. When is Bing going to die out? I don't think Microsoft's going to abandon it anytime soon. I think Bing needs to evolve. Another LockerGnome article. So, a Happy New Year, at least at the time of this recording. We've only got a few hours left in 2011. It's been a good year, I would say, and I'm certainly happy to be sharing my New Year's Eve leading up to New Year's 2012 with you, as I'm going to be broadcasting live on YouTube. We've crafted an article for those of you who have still not made up your mind about a New Year's resolution that will help you use social media even better than you've been using it today. And if you don't think you use social media, you're probably watching this video on YouTube. That's social and it's media. You may be or have shared the video on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, MySpace, or beyond. That's social media. It's an interactive set of platforms upon which you can share your thoughts. And so we have, and you're welcome to click the link, take a look, and at our 12 social media resolutions for 2012. If you've not really figured out where social media fits in your life, it can make your life better. And you're thinking possibly, why do I care about social media? Because it can make your life better. How? Yelp. Okay, let's use that as an example. You're out and about, or maybe you're at home wondering where you're going to go next. And you want to leave the house. You don't know where you're heading. Or maybe you're going to a new city, and you don't know where you might want to eat, stay, be entertained. You could use Yelp. Great set of services available to those of you who like doing things that don't happen to be inside your own house. A lot of ratings and a lot of reviews for places you've probably already visited or may not visit if you find out that a lot of the people who are commenting about that particular place think that it sucks for pretty much the same reason. I mean, it's not just one review, it's looking at the lot of them, and I would say that for just about any particular product or service you might be reading reviews about. Using Yelp could make your life better. Another thing, and this is also listed on our full article on LockerGnome.com, don't worry about your Clout score. I would be shocked if half of you knew what Clout was. It's a website that you can connect some of your social media profiles to, and then it'll give you a score in return. And, the higher the score, supposedly the more influential you are. It's kind of arbitrary, and it really doesn't mean much in the grand scheme of things. I mean, until you have your Clout score somewhere on an ID card or it actually opens doors for you, it's meaningless by and large. It's cute, but don't be so stressing out about these random scores that one website or another might say you're worth. I don't care. Ignore how many people are following you. Ignore, what this rating might happen to be. Just keep doing what you do. That might be sharing. And if you don't have anything to create yourself to share, you can share things that other people have created, like this video or that article. Another suggestion as a New Year's resolution, what about sharing more pictures? I mean, it's really not that difficult to do. If you've got a smartphone, you've got your camera on you pretty much at all times. And, signing up for a service like Instagram or using Facebook, Google+, any one of these places, even Twitter, to share those photos. And you can let others experience what you see just by taking a picture. It's pretty simple. And, then you could look back a year from now and go, wow, I remember, when I was there. I mean, the picture brings you back. I think that, there are many opportunities for you to use these services to, make your life more complete. And maybe it's not just for you. Maybe it's potentially for your family or close friends. And, sharing these experiences and sharing other people's experiences should make at least theoretical, better new year. And then hopefully we'll have another new year in 2013, unless, of course, the world ends at the end of 2012. Rounding out to about an hour here. Got time for a couple more questions. Flash stopped working. Had to refresh. Oh, sorry about that. Chris, do you like these speed tests for broadband? It seems that the only one I use is Broadband Reports. Speedtest.net is based in Flash, and it's not as detailed. Do you think the evolution of technology will ever stop, Chris? Answered that question, I believe, a few weeks ago. Maybe not. It wasn't worded the same way, but Lightbox is the replacement of Instagram for Android, an alternative for iOS. Ooh, thank you, TCPNet. Chris, do you think 3D printers will ever make it to the local business or home? Lance Seidman asks. Possibly. Although I don't know how people would use them. That's what you have to ask. I mean, would they really use them? It's like 3D technology in general. Will people use it? Do you think Google Plus will be more popular if Google had advertised it on TV and YouTube ads on their homepage? They kind of had. They did. The QR code is taking a break. It's on vacation visiting family in the Bahamas. Do you think we'll be seeing an iPad 3 next year? Undoubtedly. Is Wikipedia good or bad? That is a relative question. Can you do a video on your layout of your office? Ask Altimeter Records UK. I do that every year, every new year. Review Teen's about to get blocked. Hang on, I gotta block someone. He was kind of rude. I don't like rude people. Sorry, dude. That guy's gonna get blocked too. I don't want to do this during a live Why do you guys say these rude things? I don't want to block you. I don't want to take time out from this show to just eliminate really, I would say, bad people from this community. You're not a member of the community if you're rude, crude, vile. You generally aren't trying to further the conversation along. Or as Birch5622 says, unsportsmanlike conduct. That is absolutely correct. Will there be a mug that doesn't crack? I don't know, but I think Wait, where's the crack now? Crap. I do think I cracked it. Yeah, that was the last time you'll see me using this mug. Favorite Kindle Fire app as of today? My favorite app is the one that I get to download for free every day. How do you think Facebook feels about Google advertising the Muppets via YouTube here? There? Oh, do you ever upload videos to... Oh, it scrolled. The Muppets are a gimmick. It's going to take a lot more than the Muppets for people to pay attention to Google Plus, Peter. When will Linux die out? Ooh, it's an interesting question, but I don't think it's a one that can be answered. The chat has not moved. Oh, I'm sorry about that. The idea, though, behind doing a lot of this is to really facilitate the conversation between me, you, everybody out there in the community. When are you doing a video next? I'm doing one right now. Or you can check the schedule, and you can find out. It's going to be this weekend, the live broadcast. With everything going paperless and digital, do you think printers will die out in 5 to 10 years? Says Spring794. Maybe a good question. Let's try answering that separately. Here's another question from, I guess it would be the live YouTube chat as we were broadcasting the TLDR episode. Had a few questions that were, I think, good, although the answers, usually are 1 or 2 word responses, at least from my perspective. Spring794 on YouTube asks, Chris, with everything going paperless and digital, do you think printers will die out in 5 to 10 years? Yes, I think so. Printers are pretty affordable, at least compared to what they used to be. So is paper. Very rarely do I print anything out anymore. If I can have it in a digital copy, I'm thrilled. But there are some times that I need paper. I need something printed out because there are a lot of places I have to deal with that still, I guess, have paper. And this is usually in the form of coupons or potentially, writing out details or instructions. Sometimes that printed copy is very important to have. 10 years from now, I do believe printers will be far less important than they are today. I have a couple of printers here in the home, and maybe once a day we'll use them. I do know people who stopped buying printers years ago, and instead they print to a virtual printer that isn't actually connected anywhere in their home. You can print to, I believe, like these office copy centers. They give you software to install, and then instead of printing like right here, you can turn around and there's a printout. You can print to a printer in their center and then go and pick it up if it's something that you would want to do. So in 5 years, I think we'll still have printers. 10 years, we'll certainly still have printers, but I think our reliance on them as an absolute mandatory peripheral, no. I think we'll find people relying less and less on printers as more and more people start carrying around things like smartphones, which I've said before, These are computers. Why shouldn't someone just have this and point at it and say, this is exactly the same thing as I would have printed out, only it's on a screen? Minus the possibility that the battery could die. But hopefully, 10 years from now, battery life issues would not be as much of a deal as they are today. One could hope. One would hope. Can we hope? Let's all hope together. What do you think? Are printers dead now? Will they be dead in 10 years? Do you agree? Will our reliance on printers be vastly diminished? And what is it going to take for something like that to happen? I don't know. It's a good. I would say it's a fantastic question. In terms of what we're able to, get accomplished today, we need everything around us. Seemingly, I mean, trying to untether yourself from technology sometimes can be maddening. Go to the library to print, says Ben MCM9. Good place. Is there? Oh, crud! It scrolled off. It looked like a good question too. Speaking of printers, is it worth buying ink? You can just buy a new one. See that we Gamers Nation, the cost of ink is expensive. Although I think there are some stores that have specials every week on certain days for buying ink. Article shared and shared on LinkedIn, liked and shared, and Google and Twitter. Happy New Year. Thank you, Jenford. Appreciate it. And we also appreciate the likes for this video. Pretty amazing, I would say. I'm very happy that you're able to join me, and hopefully you guys will enjoy our broadcasts on New Year's Eve. We're doing a live build in a Google Plus Hangout on New Year's Eve. It's going to be from Bull Market Toys, the Tantive 4. Diana and I are going to be putting this together, and we'll have a time lapse also available on the Brick Tricks channel. And then this build will lead up to the live broadcast on YouTube of Subservient Chris, which I've already done a separate video on. It's already scheduled. Donations will come in. That'll be fun. Will hopefully be fun as long as people tune in and join us for our New Year's celebration. And I hope it's not just the two of us sitting in an office. It'd be fun for us, but it would be much more fun if you were joining us. Where's the QR code? You must have just turned in Cyber Tourniquet. Chris, how was your Christmas? It was good. It was very good. It was Christmassy. I will be in 2012 before you, says Spendicable. Congratulations. Let me know how it goes. All right. Do you like Lego? These are the questions I get every day. Like, I think everybody else will be able to answer that question for you. I'll let them answer. What do you guys think? Do I like Lego? Too much fun. Thank you, Jenford. Apparently he'll be here when we are broadcasting, and that will be good to go. What would make you switch to Android? Asks New Blue Geek. That's a good question. Let me see if I can. Do I have a good answer? What would make me switch to Android? Okay, wait, hang on. I got an idea, and you guys are going to be able to play along. Okay, give me a second. Let me see if I can find that dang question again. The problem with going through this and using these, using the YouTube chat box is for picking up questions is sometimes they scroll off when I want to. There we go. When I want to find it. New Blue Geek. New Blue Geek asked a very simple question, and I'm going to crowdsource the response. What would it take to make you switch to Android? And this is a question asked of me. So, what do you think it's going to take for me to switch from an iPhone to an Android device? What is it going to be? Because I don't know. I can't think of something that would give me a reason to switch. And let me give you some perspective. I'm definitely willing to switch. Absolutely. I've done it in the past. I've switched platforms like you would not believe. But my motivation for switching is always when there is a pain point. If you rewind in time, a few years back, I switched from using Windows as my primary operating system to using Mac OS X, and then living in both worlds. But the reason I switched to Mac OS X is because Windows Vista was so god-awful, I didn't feel like I had a choice. I thought Microsoft had abandoned us. I mean, they kind of did. I mean, look at what they did with the Ultimate Extras program. I mean, they pretty much, they didn't even pay attention to the people who loved Windows most. They bounced back with Windows 7, and of course Windows 8 looks to be even more fantastic than 7. They're doing their best. But it was the pain point of Windows that pushed me to an alternative. And I'd never even considered it before. So you would almost have to talk about pain points for one device to even think about what it's going to take to switch to something new. I mean, to sit there and say, it has a better camera. Well, better is relative, and this camera doesn't suck. There's a bigger screen. Well, I kind of like the Retina display. It's not a pain point for me. Well, there are different apps. Yeah, but, you know, I get a free app of the day on the Kindle Fire, and that's fine for me. Many of the apps are cross-platform. So what is a massive pain point for the iPhone? I mean, for anybody. You know, I suppose if I have dropped and cracked this thing a few times over, I may get tired of it. That would be a pain point that would get me to switch to an Android device. It isn't cost, because I get mine relatively cost-free because I sell my old iPhones. I buy everything, trust me, at least from Apple. And, you know, I basically get it for the price that I sell the old one for. So it's not really money that's a pain point either, at least as far as the iPhones are concerned. So what are the pain points? What's it going to take? And I'm going to go on record. It is an absolute possibility for anybody to say, I'll never do that because this. They're lying. They're lying. You can't get locked down into a frame of mind that works today and think you're going to be in the same frame of mind 5 years from now. The industry changes far too much for you to, I mean, that's so short-sighted. iTech HD says a greater experience. The problem with that is that greater is relative. Like, what's greater for you is not necessarily greater for everybody else. It's kind of... Now, see, this is an interesting point. Custom ROMs. And this is Steve K. 1993 brings this up. We wrote an article on LockerGnome about this the other day and did a separate video on it as well, which was very well received. Thank you for sharing and providing great feedback. I think if there was a pain point for me, I could get around it potentially with jailbreaking iOS, which I have not done yet. I haven't even gone that far. It would be the operating system. If I felt the operating system wasn't giving me as fantastic of an experience as another one, I would be inclined to switch. Of course, iOS is updated constantly. I mean, the latest iOS version goes back, you can get it installed on devices that are like 2 or 3 generations old. So they update the OS as time marches on. When that OS no longer gives me what I need, that may be the time for Android. And possibly even then, a custom ROM. You might remember when it was made official that, you know, the idea of jailbreaking wasn't illegal. I thought, and I still believe, Google should be working on a version of Android to run on this hardware. That would be cool. And I think we've seen like bits and pieces of that, but nothing that's really done very wonderfully, because the hardware works with the software very, very well. And unless there's a better experience than what I've had, because remember, better is relative, I don't think I'd see myself switching. It takes pain to even consider moving. It's the lack of momentum. I have no reason to switch. Give me a good reason. And everyone's going to have a different perspective on this. To me, it's about what's painful now. And I'm not really in pain. And if you are, you should absolutely switch from anything you might be using to something else. Because life is too short for you to be in pain and to use a device that you just don't like. If you don't like the device you're using, if you don't like the iPhone, switch. If you don't like Android, switch. If you don't like Windows Phone 7, switch. You are in control. You have that power. What's good for you may not be good for somebody else. Listen to your heart. And if your heart's telling you that what you're using today isn't making you happy, switch. That's a general statement. I'm not talking about any one vendor or another. You know my choices. You know my perspectives. This isn't about making someone feel bad about the choices they make. It's about understanding we all make different choices. And you know what? There is no right or wrong. Yeah, that's just me. Flash is not a reason to switch. Holy cow. You apparently do not know my history with Flash. Flash sucks. I hate Flash. I can't wait for Flash to die, and when it dies, I hope it goes to hell. Yo, Kim Jong-il? Yeah, no. Flash is even worse. Okay, maybe that's a bit too far. I understand. But Flash absolutely does not need to exist. It does not need to exist. And I hope to God, there's no reason. There's absolutely no reason it needs to exist. Very few people could give me an argument that would make me believe otherwise. Software that's just crashy and buggy and pointless. To watch Flash video, I can watch video without Flash. Thank you very much. Oh, man. Do you think the internet will ever become free? Free as in you don't have to pay for it, says Riku some number. One could hope. One of these days, one could hope that would be the case. Hey, Frank Angelone, what do you feel is the future of podcasting? YouTube is the future of podcasting. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're a little past the hour here, and I got to get moving on with my life. I will see you tomorrow for the live Google Plus Hangout broadcast, which probably will not be recorded, but you can join us. You can watch on Google Plus. You can circle me there. Diana and I will be putting this together. I don't know if we're putting it together here, though. We may move a computer downstairs and broadcast from that because we have more space on our dining room table. And then we'll be doing the live YouTube broadcast for New Year's Eve. 10 p.m. Pacific. A little later than normal, but that probably will be recorded. And we'll hopefully be having fun with some New Year's Eve juice, which hopefully will not be giving me acid reflux like this tea out of this Vader mug is. And I think the mug cracked, hon. I heard it go, and I see a crack down there. This is the last time I'm using it. This is why they say don't use it in the dishwasher, I think. I think it's just for decoration. I will wash it and never use it again.
Did you put it in the dishwasher?
No. But that's probably why it's very, my Vader head is very fragile. You will join us for New Year's Eve. Please. Or eat my brain. You can sip out of my head with a straw. Dark Lord of the Sith. That didn't even sound like Darth Vader. That was a lame Darth Vader. Alright, so follow me on Twitter, Facebook. We're having fun there, especially with my little Stormtrooper photos. Too much fun, dude. Everyone's saying I'm beating it to death, but I love it. And if you don't like Stormtrooper photos, you should not be following me anywhere, because I'm sharing them, damn it. It's my prerogative. And if you have a problem with my content, that's your problem, not mine, because I'm having fun drinking out of Sith heads. I think I'm getting the grounds now. It's kind of bitter. I'm not bitter, though. Do I seem bitter? I don't mean to. Either way, thank you for joining us. We'll see you the next time. Of course, you can join us in the chat room. The live video feed. You're geeking out. Dan McDermott show tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for the reminder. You can tune into that if you want to. That's not through this channel. You can find Dan over on Google+. Probably one of the better people you could circle on Google+. And yes, that is an endorsement. Not a paid endorsement, although you can make out your checks to Chris Pirillo. I also have a PayPal address, which you will probably be using on New Year's Eve during Subservient Chris. You want more information about that? I've already got the video on the channel. What else did I need to say? There was something else. Oh, yeah. We'll see you later.